In the studio with us right now, Aaron Lehman from Family Promise. Deanna Chero is with him as well. She, of course, with Family Promise too. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Like usual.
Conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. This is one of those rare occasions, and I have no idea what you're here to talk about, Aaron.
Exactly.
Other than Family Promise.
Yes.
So it's up to you.
right.
You're the guide here. What are we talking about?
All right, so we're going to talk about the poverty prevention program that we have. And so we have the homeless aspect part of Family Promise, and we also have the poverty prevention. Deanna's going to talk about the poverty prevention. But before she does that, I wanted to talk about something. All right. Mm-hmm. So let's say you have somebody that's homeless, and let's say they are in trouble for public urination, and it's a $70 fine. All right, so we have to pay for a police officer to go pick them up, bring them to court, and then they get a, that they have to do community service.
Okay.
All right. So now they can't come to community service because they don't have a car, or they don't have a watch, or they might have some mental problems. So what happens is then the police go out, so we're paying for them again, going through the court system, which we're paying for, and then they get in jail, which we're paying for.
Vicious cycle.
Yeah. So it's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, where if we would have saved that $70 at the beginning, we wouldn't have to pay that thousands and thousands of dollars. Also, if somebody has diabetes and they have their insulin in the winter, their insulin will freeze. In the summer, they can't get refrigeration for it. So they might be near a hospital. So then they're going to go in the hospital. They're going to get treated. They're not going to be able to pay for it. So now what's going to happen is the hospital is going to have to write that off, which means that, prices may go up. And if prices go up, then premiums go up. And if premiums go up, then you're paying a higher premium, where if we would have been able to house that person and taught them how to be fiscally responsible and taught them how to balance a checkbook, they would have a place to put their insulin, which means they wouldn't have to go to the hospital, which means but if they did go to the hospital, they'd have health insurance to cover that. So when you have a little problem and you fix that problem and money was going to that problem, you have more money. So that's $70. If we didn't have that happen, then there's to be thousands of dollars that we're saving. So what we do in the poverty prevention program is we have families come in, and Deanna will talk about this, and individuals, and we teach them how to manage money. And that way they're not homeless. And if they don't become homeless, we're saving that $70, but we're also saving those thousands of dollars that it costs for the health care or for the, court costs and that type of thing.
So a system that is maybe not broken, but is certainly in bad need of repair.
Yes.
Is the pressure's relieved a little bit off of the system and obviously on the person who is caught in this cycle.
Exactly. And that's one thing I always say is, if we're taking people off of food stamps and Medicaid that taxpayer money goes to, then we're lowering taxes for the federal and state government. If we are having people get jobs, now they're not paying taxes, so we're increasing income. So that's a great business model, is to decrease expenses, increase income, and that's how you can cut taxes if you start doing these things and start trying to figure out how to solve a problem, so then you can use money for another problem.
Yeah.
Now with Family Promise, we're always looking for donations. We're always looking, I'd rather somebody pay $100 than a couple $1,000s in taxes, to help the problem. That's where, we come into play, and that's where Deanna comes into play also with the poverty prevention program. So
right,
I'll hand it over to her.
Take this ball and run with it, will you?
Okay, so the prevention program is also known as POPS. So if you hear me say POPS, I'm also referring to the Promise of Prevention program. Mm-hmm. So at the program, we prevent people from, whether if it's getting evicted or becoming homeless, getting their water shut off, their electric shut off, getting behind on their bills. But how we do this is we first look at your financial income and all your expenses, and then we help you create a budget. Mm-hmm. After that, we educate you on how to finance your budget. And like Aaron likes to say, we're a hand up, we're not a handout. So at Family Promise, my goal is to give you the information so you have the tools to make the change that you want. All I'm asking is, asking for help is the first step to turning your dreams into goals.
Yeah.
So
you've got all these people who might come before you, and each of them is going to have different circumstances in their lives.
Absolutely, yes. But
as they come to you, there's probably a few common denominators, and one of those is that they really don't have the basic foundation financially to manage what they need to for life. There might be a bit of an income, there might be some sort of assistance that they have. But once they get that check in their hand, they really don't know how to manage it, how to make it last, how to use it correctly.
Exactly. And they have to, people have to be willing to come in and make a change. So it's up to them to make a change. I'm here to motivate you and give you all the information and to educate you on, so you can take those tools and put it towards financial sustainability.
So once people reach family promise, and especially by the time they get to you, they've gotten to the point where they've said to themselves, all right, something's not working in my life.
Yes, exactly.
This isn't it. I need to make a change.
Yes.
I need to get the help I need, and that's where you step in.
Yes, exactly. I have clients here. I mean, clients that have been with me for a while now, and I can tell you there's a difference from where they started and where they're at now. So yeah, we have a 93% success rate. The prevention program is not for everyone. Like I said, you have to be willing to come in and make a change. But for instance, like I have clients that come in, we make sure their bills are paid, everything's on time. We go through money management module, so we educate them on money management. We go and look at, we have a module called Turning Your Dreams into Goals. So we look at all your dreams and things that you want to accomplish. We have a module that's how to become a good tenant. And we don't only just look at your finances. We help you further your education, get your driver's license, get you access to parenting education, anything of that sort. So like right now, I have someone that's getting their driver's license. So every time she comes in, we study. And when she's ready, I can take her to the DMV and we'll help her out that way.
So the fundamentals of life that somehow they have not been able to get a hold of.
Exactly. Yes.
Are what you're backfilling. She's backfilling, Erin,
Exactly.
as she goes back and she sees, okay, you're here and this is where you stand financially. But even if you think you're on pretty solid footing, if you don't have that foundation behind you, I'm going to have to fill in the back so that you don't crumble and fall.
Well, exactly, and I'm in my practice with financial advising. I see that with all different levels of people. If you don't have the background, if you don't have whether you make $1 million or you make $20,000, if you don't have the financial background, you're not going to be able to maybe make it work as well. And if you haven't had that education by your parents or when you're younger, or the schools, then how are you going to know? And what we're doing is we're teaching people how to know. One of the things that I love that Carol Reed, our executive director, always says is short-term discomfort for long-term gain. So one of the things is, let's say you start taking the bus and you don't have a car, and you save money for a car. Well, let's say you have a car that you're putting $100 a month into because it's just breaking down and everything. If you no longer have that car, you take the bus for a year, or you have people drive you, or you take an Uber every once in a while, or you bike or you walk, then you don't have to have a car. So you could save money for a car. Now you're going to get a nicer car. When you have a nicer car, you no longer have to put that $100 in. If you no longer have to put that $100 in, then you're going to be able to use that to solve another problem. So that's what we do is, talk about wants and needs and talk about how, you should be thinking about money as opposed to just, oh my God, I have money. I need to go buy a big screen TV. But then 3 months later, you don't have the money to pay for the electric.
Sure.
So how good is a big screen TV? But a lot of people that are in poverty and homeless, they're in a position that they have kind of, they just don't see any upside. So when they get money, they're not thinking about the future. They might get the best phone out there. The reason why I didn't get the best phone out there is because I knew that I had to pay the bill and everything else like that. They would do it and then not be able to pay the bill just because they're like, I need that because it's going to make me feel better. But then later on, they don't have it. So that's
Deanna. I'm guessing that there are a few people that you meet who come from a 2-income family, and one of those incomes all of a sudden goes away. Somebody passes away. There's a breakup in that family, and one of those two spouses, for instance, has been dependent upon the other to be the financial manager of that family. Now that financial manager of the family isn't there, and there's nothing to build on with this person who's been relying upon this other person to do all of that stuff. I don't have to think about that because he's thinking of it or she's thinking of it. Now all of a sudden I have to think about it and I don't know what to do.
Yeah, we have some of those situations that come in. saying like, I don't know how do I pay the mortgage? People have no clue because, their significant other did, or say if they didn't have a job and they were relying on the significant other, we can also help you gain employment. We can do mock interviews, stuff like that. So we teach the basics and then we help you go further with that. So.
Okay. So with all of that, Aaron, how do people get into the system with Family Promise and get to the point where you say to them, you need to meet Deanna, and Deanna can help you?
You know what? I'll let Deanna take care of that because she knows more about that part of it than me.
So we're asking how they come to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, it starts with you. You have to realize what situation you're in, and then if you want help, and that is us advertising.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, if you need help, come to me. If you find yourself in a situation where you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're finding yourself scrounging for money, whether if it is to buy a meal for your family or to be able to pay rent, come to Family Promise at the day center. We can talk about what your issues are, and I'll let you know what I can help provide for you. So it does take the first step, and I'm doing that.
So to make that first step, they need to do a phone call. They need to
a
stop
phone
by.
call, a phone call, an email. They can stop by.
How about the coffee hour or coffee time? Are you still having that?
Yeah, Monday through Friday. They can stop in anywhere from 9 to 4.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
You got coffee time for them?
Yeah, it's the Pops Cafe. So we'll have coffee running for them, and they want to sit down, have a cup of Joe, and they can talk to me.
Are there cookies involved?
No cookies yet.
Okay.
Maybe I can bake some. I don't know.
Just wondering.
Not that good of a baker.
She's going to run home and bake some cookies.
Exactly. Yeah. So our office is across from the Guidance Center on 4th.
Mm-hmm.
It's a signed Family Promise. It's where a chiropractor used to be on point. Phone number is 724-464-5220. So you can always call that and talk to Deanna, and or go on our website and there's some information there. So we're revamping that. So you'll have to give us a little bit of time with that. But, we'll have some stuff about the POPS program. But the reason why I wanted to come on is because, not only are we helping the homelessness problem, we're also, helping people and preventing it.
Yeah.
So when you prevent it, now, you're not going to have as many people in the shelter, and that's a good thing.
Keep them from becoming homeless.
The website is familypromiseofindianacounty.com. So you can put an application there, or you can email us on that website.
That's a good place.
And everything's, of course, confidential, so you don't have to.
Don't have to worry about.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Hey, thank you both for
Thank
coming
you.
in today. We
Thanks.
appreciate that. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160, AM 1160, AM